considering the time put into it, I figured those coins would be better spent on the arena and unlocking packs. But if you don't know, the Nax Ramus content is like a little single player campaign. You play against a series of bosses that aren't characters, playable characters. So they have like crazy hero powers. Like one of them can just use 2 mana and summon a 4/4 creature. So it's really, really kind of crazy, and you have to spend some time coming up with good decks to beat them. But I sort of found I have a pretty good rogue deck, which is really fast and aggressive, all based on weapons. So I can keep the board clean and do damage at the same time. And I really had very little issue with Nax Ramus. There were a couple bosses I had to try a couple different things, but most of the time, first try, beat the bosses and went on to the next one. But you get your money's worth for that 20. It's fun. You get to get all that. But then after every boss, you unlock a new card that you can use in the main game, and most of the cards are worthwhile. So you're not blowing your money if you spend the $20.
Did you
I enjoyed it? Yeah, I beat it. I beat the next round. I don't know. I've like all my heroes are level 20. I beat the next Ramus content.
I'm on board with giving you a beaten game.
We need a consensus on this because
I'm fine with it.
Well, last week it was he needs to play the single player content, and I did all that. I even bought the $20 expansion pack and beat that.
Well, we can consider that beaten then.
Good job, Corey.
Is anybody else going to beat it though? Because we need to determine what the.
I'm not.
I probably won't.
Depends with me, maybe. If it's gonna take too long, probably not.
I don't think the Nax Ramus content should play into it, to be honest with you.
That's fine.
I was prepared to give it to you already.
Because that's an expansion, really. It should just be unlock all the basic cards with all the heroes, which is getting them all to level 10.
That's fine.
I feel like that's the most fair.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be a while before I rise in the ranks. These people have good cards.
Okay.
But yeah, just been playing that a ton and trying to figure out good decks. I do have a lot of cards. I've been playing so long, just on what I unlocked, doing the arena runs and stuff like that. I haven't spent a dime on the game other than the expansion, which you can either spend 2,800 coins on or just pay $20 for. But yeah, it's a great game, guys.
Sounds good.
See the light.
Never.
See the light.
It's okay.
All right. What do you got, Eric?
I'm done. I played NES Remix.
Oh, that's right. Go ahead.
Are you in a hurry, Dan?
No, you seem like you were done.
You did seem like you were done.
I was ready to move on.
Corey, I didn't know you. I knew you weren't done.
Thanks, Will. NES Remix is it a Wii U game or did it come out for Wii?
Wii U.
Okay.
They're Wii U.
It's a series of mini games from a bunch of NES games, and I don't. It's kind of fun, but not really at the same time. Like it depends on if you really enjoy these NES games, how much you're actually gonna like NES Remix. I haven't played the second one, so I don't know anything about that. But the first one, it's little bits of gameplay from Super Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong Jr., Excite Bike, Balloon Fight. I think there's a couple others that I can't think of right now. But they're old NES games that don't necessarily hold up very well. The Nintendo or the Super Mario Brothers ones are my favorite. But other than that, it's just a bunch of games that I'd never play otherwise, and they're asking me to complete little tasks, sort of like the WarioWare things, where it's like really rapid, complete this objective.
Oh, okay.
And that's what it is, over and over and over and over again. And the only one I feel like holds up and is actually like fun to play is Excite Bike.
That's a great game.
It is a great game. But otherwise, it's just... It all depends on how much you like NES games. I assume it would be more fun cooperatively with someone else, but what isn't really. But yeah, I don't recommend it, honestly. I don't hate it because it's quick in and out, but it's like these old ass games like Donkey Kong. It's like you're Mario and it says climb this ladder, and you just climb the ladder, and it's like. Success! Yay! I don't know. It's silly.
6.9 user score on Metacritic.
I would say that's a little generous.
Oh boy.
All right.
Gotcha.
It's not horrible. There's far worse games out there, but for my 300 Club Nintendo coins, I could have spent them much more wisely.
I'm glad that you said something.
Yeah. But, at least I have a perspective on a game that I didn't have before, so I don't know.
Sure. Sounds good. Now are you finished, Corey?
Maybe. Yeah, I'm finished.
Okay. What do you got, Eric?
I got 2 games to talk about, Dan. Battlefield Hardline Beta and Grim Fandango. Which do you want to hear about first?
Let's go Battlefield first.
Okay. So yes, my frustrations with Dying Light led me to play Battlefield Hardline Beta before I came over. I got into 2 matches. I played Conquest mode, which is what I love about Battlefield always, where there's like 4 bases on the map and you go take them over. I actually really liked it.
Really?
It's just Battlefield with cops and robbers instead of war.
One of my friends said it was awesome.
So it was better than when you played the alpha, then?
Yeah, but the alpha that I played wasn't Conquest.
Oh, gotcha.
So maybe I just didn't like that game mode.
Maybe.
But I really had a good time with it.
Do you think it's going to be a buy?
Probably.
Really?
Yeah.
For PC?
If you guys get it for PC, sure.
I might.
Or one of you.
my graphics card.
I'll tell you what though, I played on a map called Dust Bowl. It was really fun. There's like it's kind of like a country city, and there's like a hotel is one of the bases, and it wraps around, and it's really cool because you're running through this hotel and there's cops and robbers all over the place, and the police, it says police across their back with like police vests, and there's police vehicles and sirens and shit like that, and like the robbers have just like, I guess, regular robber cars, if you want to call them that, or motorcycles, and there's like kind of thuggish music playing in them.
That's cool.
It's cool. Cops and robbers is fun. It's a good concept. Even just the slight change that it is still Battlefield.
Yeah.
Aside from the new game modes, which I will try before next week. But like I said, I played 2 matches on Dust Bowl. The thing with Dust Bowl, if you remember last Battlefield 4, I think the new Call of Duty does this. At a certain point, something happens to the map that you're on.
Yeah.
Dust Bowl's the same
event,
way.
yeah.
There's like a big dust storm at the end, which is really neat. It kind of adds something to it. But one of the bases is this building, and you go up, and there's flights of stairs, and there was always a lot of action going on there, and it felt like a cops and robbers kind of thing, where you're like on the stairs, kind of, leaning around trying to get a good vantage point. It was a lot of fun because they come in like a big ass wave, and you've got guys upstairs, and they're coming up the stairs at you, and that's what I've always liked about Battlefield. Is that kind of thing.
A lot of people.
Yeah. So yeah, that may have turned into a buy for me.
Okay.
I really had a good time with it. So
I downloaded it. I downloaded the beta on computer. So
okay, I played on PS4,
But
I will do that. I'll get it for PC, and hopefully we can play this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't have enough room on my hard drive.
What?
You're gonna have to delete
I think it's
Dragon
only
Age.
like 11 gigabytes.
Yeah,
It's
but
not-
it wants you to have like 40 gigs when you play it free
Damn.
for swap space, I guess. I don't know.
Jeepers.
Yeah, I'm curious. In what made me think it would be worthwhile was, how it was going to come out last year, right?
Yeah.
And then that beta came out, and people said it was slimy garbage.
Or was it?
And then they battened down the hatches and kept it quiet for a while, and that's a good sign to me because they're trying to improve it and make it better. So for Eric, for you to come on here and say it's pretty damn good is a good sign.
Well, hey, Corey, I think we should keep mentioning that I've only played Conquest mode, which is like Battlefield to a T.
that's
It is
your favorite,
it is
yeah.
Battlefield, really. That's
Yeah.
what they're built on. So that should be said. I haven't tried any of the new stuff, which is what I tried in the alpha. Hated. So that could be what it was. I just didn't like that game type. But by God, do I love me some Conquest.
Looks
Guess we'll
fun.
find out next week. How long is it going for, the beta?
I don't know.
I think until the
9th.
8th or 9th, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds right.
Well, I should get some video game time tomorrow because it's my birthday and I can do what I want.
Yeah.
But I'd like to play a little bit more of that. Good times.
Nice.
Good times. Maybe if I get home tonight and the lady's sleeping, I'll try one of the new game modes.
It is almost 11.
She hasn't texted me in a while. She
Okay.
might be out. Anywho, moving on to Grim Fandango, which was one of my 4 in February. That game sucks.
Oh.
I don't like point-and-click adventure games, and
Okay.
this game has pretty much sealed that for me.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to keep playing through it, but I am strictly going to use the walkthrough guide because I don't like this game at all.
Gotcha.
Well, I shouldn't say I don't like it at all. I see the draw with the characters and the setting because the characters are pretty cool and like
Yeah.
you can get into them. Main character's really cool. But the puzzles are so stupid. Like they're hard. They're hard as fuck and there's just no reason for it. Like they're one of the first puzzles I literally, if I didn't look at a walkthrough for, I would have never figured it out.
Yeah.
Never. And I just don't understand what the need is for it. Maybe I'm just stupid and not good at puzzle games, and if that's the case, I'll own that. But I don't think that was the case with this puzzle in particular.
Right.
I just was like, what the fuck? What? I don't understand. And then I got to another one that was just like, I don't even know how to describe this. You have to position this wheelbarrow just right over these 4 wires, but I don't feel like there's a set place for it. Because I didn't have it in the same place that the walkthrough had it. You just have to keep like moving back and forth until it works. And it was awful.
Do you see the draw 20 years ago?
Yeah, I'm sure 20 years ago. I don't like that's probably why it's getting such high ratings as a remaster is the nostalgia factor and how good it was when it came out. I could see that. I really
Yeah.
could. But now, ugh. I really don't like it.
Sorry, Eric.
It's all right. I wanted to play. I bought it. Like I wanted to play it. I
Yeah.
was gonna play it regardless. Now
Yeah.
I just have to keep playing it.
How long is it? Do you know?
It's 12 hours.
I think I've read 12 hours.
Yeah,
So
12 hours.
Oof.
And I'm only gonna use the walkthrough.
I don't
'cause
blame you.
Fuck that game. So that's disappointing.
yeah.
Characters are really cool though.
Okay.
Manny Calavera
Yeah.
is the main character. It's an interesting concept and what goes on. I don't want to spoil it for people like me that just bought the remaster and have never played it before. It is a cool concept and the characters are neat
Gotcha.
and different.
12 hours main story, Eric.
Yeah. But it's really just I thought to myself, I just don't like point and click adventure games.
I don't blame you. That's how I mean,
Stuff.
it's gotta be real entertaining to be enjoyable. A point and click.
I think
adventure.
you might like it, Corey, because it's funny. It is funny.
I didn't really care for Broken Age all that much.
I like Broken Age.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can see how somebody would be entertained by this game because it is funny, but the puzzles are so frustrating,
Yeah.
and like it doesn't control all that well either.
That's
So.
disappointing.
But I mean, you might like it. Like I said, you like point and click adventure games. I don't. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty much what it boils down to.
I'm also really bad at puzzle games.
Good luck. Holy shit.
Oh boy.
Unbelievable. This is like absurd. But that's all I played.
Okay.
Gentlemen's.
Sounds good. I covered everybody, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Dan.
All right. Let's get into feedback then, shall we?
Sure,
Yeah,
Dan.
pull it right up.
Oh, before we do that, let's take the final tally for our 4 in February fan vote.
Do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah, pull it up.
All right.
Figure out what our last games are. Some of us had blowouts, so probably already know. But there's a couple that were close.
Okay. So Corey's at the top of the list. So we'll
Corey's
start
top of
there.
the list.
Corey with 42% of the vote. Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Deus
All
Ex.
right.
I'm so disappointed you didn't get South Park. Far better game.
Well, Corey, you never played Deus Ex, right?
A little bit.
Okay,
Yeah, I played maybe an hour of it.
gotcha.
I got a question for you guys though. The
Yeah.
version I will be playing is the director's cut, which is not the original game.
That's fine.
That's fine.
It's longer.
That's fine.
It's not that long of
Sucks
a
to be
game,
you.
though.
You can play whichever
I
one
think
you
it's
want.
only like 20 hours, right?
I
Yeah.
can tell you exactly how long it is. 20 and a half.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's not too bad.
Guys, my 4 in February is 88 hours.
Get started.
Yeah, get going, man.
Guess you're gonna have to cut into that 9 to 5 productivity, huh?
Ugh.
Mine's pretty damn short. I was looking at the totals. I thought Bayonetta was a lot longer than it is.
Yeah, it's only like 10,
Yeah.
11 hours. It's pretty
10
short,
hours
too.
for that, like 12 for Grim Fandango, 3 for Brothers, and I don't remember Mario. It wasn't that long though.
No, I
Or
think
maybe,
that's like 12 or 13.
Yeah. So anyway, my fourth game is voted by the listeners. 46% of the vote. Mario Galaxy 2. I'm excited to play that one. I am.
Wait, so 2 people have Mario Galaxy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Me, Corey and I.
Good. Good.
Will, I'm glad you got this one.
Me too.
Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Was that the one I picked for you?
That was the one that was second on your list.
Okay, yeah.
That you wanted me to play.
HD, that had 54% of the vote.
I was so happy that one won.
Yes. And Dan, last but certainly not least, Lord of the Rings War in the North with 50% of the vote.
Yep.
That wasn't even close.
Nope, ran away.
I wish it was Hotline Miami.
Me too.
I'm going to play Hotline Miami at some point.
I
so.
voted in this.
Oh, did yeah?
As did I.
I voted,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
We all voted.
I thought it was bad that I did that, but I guess it wasn't.
Nope.
So I went ahead and tallied the average main story length according to howlongtobeat.com for everybody.
Oh, nice.
Pretty pathetic mine was, huh?
Not terrible.
Okay.
So mine is the longest at 88 hours.
Nice.
Great. Will comes in second at a whopping 72 hours.
Wow.
Corey, wasn't yours the longest every year?
Yeah. Maybe not the first year. I know last year it was. I don't know about the first year.
Kumi the first year. That's like 40 hours, isn't it?
More than
That's
that.
why I didn't beat. That's why I didn't do it the first year.
All right.
Dan's in third with 44 and a half hours.
Fairly short, actually.
And Eric is in fourth with 37 and a half hours.
But it's boys at a hearty 37.
Grim Fandango.
Well, Eric has a job too, so
Yeah, that's
yeah. Plus,
true.
if you add on the reading time for me to sift through the wiki guide on IGN for Grim Fandango, that's going to tack a couple more hours on.
I mean, if we're doing weighted times, Dan and Eric have the longest. Dan has children. Eric has a job.
Yeah.
Well, I have a girlfriend, so Will,
Well, come on.
No excuses for you.
clean it up.
Now's the time.
Actually, I haven't even started any of my games.
No, me neither.
See, the good thing about Dust and Papers, Please for me is that I can play those like during the day. Dust
yeah, that's true.
because it's it's cartoony and stuff.
The thing
I
that
don't think
I,
I play Just Cause.
I'm keeping in my back pocket is the fact that Brothers is only 3 hours long.
Yeah,
So I could just do that in sitting.
yeah.
You'll definitely have
It's really
one
good,
game.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan, we discussed this back when I got a beaten game for Papers, Please.
Uh-huh.
There's lots of different endings.
Yeah.
It has to be a decently good ending.
Okay. Well, is there a way to know that?
Yeah, you'll know it when you see it.
Sounds good.
I beat that
I'm
too.
cool
I don't
with
remember what happened. But we countered it.
Yeah, I think you had a decently good ending because there's endings that are just miserable and it doesn't really count because you could get that like in
Early
an
on.
hour. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, crap. It's a good fucking game.
it's a great game. That's on the tablet, yeah.
Well, I have it on computer.
Streamed to the tablet.
What, did we lose the recording, Dan?
No.
No, I heard you curse.
I'm opening feedback right now.
You cursed.
I thought I heard Dan
Yeah.
exclaim a curse word.
I said, "Damn it!" That's
Oh.
not a curse word.
Huh.
Come on. Of course, it's being obnoxious.
Which game are you least excited about on your list?
Probably Lord of the Rings for me. Only because of Corey's graphical issues.
Yeah, but you
I-
shouldn't have those problems, right?
Should, but I don't want to have those problems.
Mine's Banner Saga.
What? That would be the one I'm most looking forward to.
I
What
don't
else
know.
you got?
I had Sunset Overdrive, XCOM, and Wind Waker.
You have the best list easily.
I just
Yeah.
booted up the Banner Saga, played 5 minutes. I was like, I'll get to it.
You know what? With those other games, that might be the one I was least looking forward to too.
Yeah. What was Wind Waker HD? What was the other ones?
XCOM and Sunset Overdrive.
I think if I were Will, I'd go with Zelda as my least.
Yeah, it's either that or
Well,
That's really good up until the end. There's one really
I mean,
obnoxious part.
I said going into it that was the one game I wanted to be on my list.
He did say that.
So,
Yeah, fair enough.
and it's one of those games that all my friends who like Zelda are like, you haven't beaten that or played it?
You know what? It comes down to you're in good shape when your least look forward to is the Banner Saga.
That's true.
It's a good game.
Because I know I'll like it when I start playing it.
Yeah,
Just gotta get into it.
it's good stuff.
Although I already have 2 games beaten this month, so.
What are you trying to say?
Count towards your list.
I'm gonna end up beating 4 different games.
Is the email not working, Dan?
Nope, I got it.
Okay.
Probably for me, the only one I'm like really looking forward to playing is Super Mario Galaxy 2. But you need a nunchuck, which I do not have.
I'm using Will's.
That's at Dan's right now.
Yeah, it's
Here.
upstairs.
What a tricky move by Nintendo. You think they said to themselves, well, a lot of people have Wii U's. We can sell this game for $10. But then people realize they don't have Wiimotes or nunchucks anymore and go out and spend $70 on that to play our cheap $10 game.
I didn't know that I needed that when I bought it.
I didn't know either.
Yeah,
They're
no,
not
nor did I.
But I think they were also anticipating maybe a lot of people
Keeping the Wii.
keeping the controllers when they upgraded from the Wii to the Wii U. Or
I think you're giving them way too much credit, Dan. This is the company that decided not to put a charger in the new 3DS box.
yeah, I know that's
Which-
true.
God, that pisses me off.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
And they
agree.
said they wanted to save money, right? Was why they did that.
They
Even
wanted
though-
to make it cheaper. The unit cheaper
Just-
for consumers to buy. Because
Fuck.
everybody already has their charger from their old 3DS.
But I gotta sell it.
Fuck you, Nintendo.
God.
I love you so much.
All right, here's feedback. Twitter, Ryan in Iowa says, I have a suggestion for potential future question of the week. What fictional property, TV, comics, movies, toys, that doesn't have video games related to them would you like to see? Examples would be Firefly, Attack on the Titan, Grimm, Suicide Squad, Jupiter Ascending, and District 9.
I think a few of those have games, don't they?
The only one I think might be Attack of the Titan. Might have something in Japan.
What was the first one?
Firefly. That has a game that just came out, right?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was a popular game. Wasn't it an MMORPG?
Oh.
Yes, I think
yeah.
so.
But that's a good suggestion. Cora
Yeah.
will take that down.
Corey can dig into that.
I'll dig into that. Do you guys have any update?
I'd have
don't.
to think.
I would have to think about it.
I've never seen or really know anything about any of the things he listed there.
1984.
Breaking Bad.
Like to see a video game set in the 1984
Pretty Little
universe.
Liars.
The Americans. That would be a good one.
Valerie in Illinois says, I'm listening to old episodes at work today. Fun to listen back how excited you are about upcoming games versus the disappointing results. I'd like to go back and see that too. That'd be interesting. If you have any games specifically that you can think of, let us know and we'll read those on air, because I very rarely remember what we talk about during an episode.
As soon as I get home, I'm
Yeah.
like, what did I even say?
Yeah, and I couldn't tell you some of the stuff we've talked about. So, yeah, if you have anything specific in mind, let us know. We'll hang on here. This is from Julio Soto 77 on Twitter in response to the announcement of White Knight release date. This is very cool. Also for fans of Mad World, which use a similar black and white shaded look. Mad World. Anyone familiar with Mad World?
I am. I think that game was on the Wii. It was really cool.
Are you thinking of that or?
No, I'm definitely. I think it was for the Wii. Maybe not.
I'm going to look it up, boys.
Okay.
I know what
Wii.
you think. No More Heroes.
No More
right?
Heroes. That's what I was thinking of. Yes.
I think Mad World was Wii too.
Yeah, it's Wii.
Okay.
Hey,
Mad World.
reviewed.
Oh, it looks cool.
It looks like.
Oh, it looks awesome.
The Wii had a lot of those weird games on there.
Yeah.
That were cool. They have a lot of weird RPGs too that I want to buy really bad.
Oh yeah.
It did review well. Wow. Average or Metacritic score was 81.
Nice.
It's good.
All right. Facebook, Ryan in Iowa says, yeah, I didn't really love the picks for Eric and Will, but had to go with the shooters for them. Eric really got the short end of the stick by not getting Resident Evil HD.
He was referring to our fan vote.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to do some write-ins. But, yeah.
I think
feel like my list is pretty weak too, Ryan. I agree.
I think Resident Evil HD would have been a hard one, though. I remember that game being super hard back in the day.
I'd rather play that hard game than Grim Fandango.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Did they streamline anything for the HD remaster? Or
No.
is it just graphics?
Just graphics. I heard on another podcast that they didn't. The inventory stuff is the same and all that.
Oof.
So it's hard as a bastard then.
Yeah, they said like a bullet will
I
take
was gonna say.
a spot, or like I forgot what they kept referencing, like a piece of food or whatever would be one slot, but then a sledgehammer would also be one slot. It just didn't make sense.
Gotcha.
So
I'm all right with that though. Like Last of Us had limited. Well, I don't know if inventory, but
well, they said the highest character has like 12 spaces.
whatever.
So.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll play it at some point.
David Boston says, I'm going to get Dying Light as soon as it stops snowing. That's all I've been doing is clearing snow.
Yeah.
No time for any gaming.
Yeah.
Dave, I hear ya.
I've seen some pictures Dave posted on his Facebook.
Their snow's way worse than here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But we're
really?
supposed to be
Dave's
getting
in Boston.
Yeah.
18 inches over the next few days. So
Yeah.
18 to 24, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
I've had to shovel off like 3 or 4 inches every day for the past like week. The new fluffy snow.
Yeah.
And it's my second least favorite thing to do other than washing dishes by hand.
Ooh.
Oh, see,
I don't
And,
either.
my dishwasher broke last week.
Oh, well,
we're
yeah.
getting a new one because I would run the dishwasher every single day.
Yeah,
because
if
we
I
have
was
so much
going
dishes.
from dishwasher to hand wash,
Yeah.
that would probably be the worst thing of all time.
Well, and because of the amount with
Yeah,
with
sure,
2 kids
kids,
and cooking every meal, it's a nightmare.
You're
So
having-
we do a load of dish in the dishwasher every day.
You're having a rough night or
Fair
a rough
enough.
week then.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
Dan, as the designated dishwasher, do you find yourself frequently taking dish shortcuts?
No, I scrub them pretty well.
No, I mean like throughout the day, instead of using a dish, you'll use a paper towel, maybe.
Oh
or-
yeah, I reuse cups, I reuse plates.
yeah, me too.
Been known to
definitely.
do that a time or two.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's a holdover from living in my apartment.
Yep.
I never had a dishwasher and never had that much cupboard space, so I would just reuse the same stuff over and over again. Occasionally using paper plates and stuff, so I wouldn't have to wash dishes.
I wouldn't say I'm the designated dishwasher of the household, but I am less busy than my fiance is. So I do wash dishes more than she does. So the other night we got pizza, and it's always in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She got a plate out for me. I go, oh, honey, I don't need a plate. I'll just use a paper towel. But I'm thinking, I don't have to wash that fucking dish
Yeah.
later on tonight.
Yeah.
It's a big consideration come mealtime. How can I get through this meal with the least amount of dishes?
Yeah. That's
Or the easiest dish to wash.
Yeah.
I'll go as far as that even.
Yep.
that's the way to do it.
It's really depressing.
Email Idaho Jake says, "Hey guys, not much to report here. I beat the Call of Duty campaign.
Hey,
Well
all
done,
right.
Jake. Not bad, but it reminded me of every action movie. You get hurt, then you get a second chance, but the second chance is a bad thing, so you go against it. Now I am onto Dust, which I'm having a ton of fun with. I have a question for all 4 of you. How's your style of gaming changed from episode 1 to now? As for the question of the week, I think I would go with Super Mario 64. I'll read that when we get there.
Dan.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not Dan's my fault.
Little spoiler there.
Eric.
No, that's fine. How's your gaming style changed from episode 1 to now, Will?
I used to be way more into shooters than I am now. I'm not even interested in most shooters at this point. I'm just kind of burnt out on them and don't want to play any of them. I'm hoping I like Hardline, so maybe I'll get a little more into it. But yeah, my shooting games has really declined.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Okay. Eric?
I think I just try more different games. I've gotten a lot more into indie games for sure. I beat a lot more games than I used to, which is different. But yeah, I think for the most part, I just try a lot of different games. I spend a lot more money too, which sucks.
Yeah.
But what else am I going to use it for?
Yeah. Just money. You can always make more.
Make more next week.
Okay. Corey? What about you?
That's a good question. I would pretty substantially for me actually. Once I went off to college, I pretty much gave up video games. It was just Halo and hockey. Whatever Halo game was coming out, and whatever year's NHL game was coming out, and that's pretty much all I played. But once we started the podcast, same with Eric. I'm trying a lot of different things and playing through a lot of different things. So yeah, I would say I made a pretty big 180 on gaming overall since we started this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my habits have changed a lot too. What I would do is if I found a game that I really liked, I would play it over and over and over and over again. Like the first BioShock, I beat probably 6 or 8 times. Mass Effect 1 and 2, I both beat Probably the first Mass Effect I beat like 10 times, and I did different things on the story every time. I would only buy like 5 or 6 games in a year, but I would play them just top down.
How you do that?
Do everything. They would do everything I possibly could. Well, if it was a game I liked, I never thought of it as like a chore. I just wanted to see absolutely everything that was in the game.
Do you ever miss that, Dan?
Oh yeah, definitely. As I said, I probably would have started Dragon Age all over again right when I finished after 80. Actually, my Origin account says 91 hours.
Oof.
For whatever reason, but it was 8. I think in game it said 80 or 80.
You know, Origin's counting. I was gonna say lost time, but you don't lose time in that game.
No.
Never mind.
So yeah, now that with the podcast, I like you guys play a lot more different games, but also like I'll play something once. I might go back to it later, but a lot of times I don't. Long RPGs. The first Dragon Age I beat probably 5 or 6 times. That's how I played games back in the day.
Man.
Yeah.
I trade more games in than I'd like to.
Same here.
Because with having to get games so frequently to talk about, I don't make enough money to
to have
well,
them sit on your shelf.
I don't allow myself to spend enough money.
Right.
Or my fiance doesn't.
Right.
To support that. So I have to kind of have a good rotation of games coming in and out. So that's part of it too.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Valerie in Illinois says, "Hi, athletes. After months of going back and forth on whether or not I should buy a Wii U so I can get my hand on some Nintendo games, I finally decided I'm going to buy a Nintendo 3DS instead. Your suggestions on which model to buy. Went online to order and realized there were way too many options for me to choose from without spending an hour or two researching. I figured you guys would have more hands-on experience with Nintendo DS, so why not ask you?" That's an easy answer, Valerie. Get the new one.
Yep.
3DS XL. It's coming out February 13th. I would wait for that. I wouldn't get, unless you're planning on getting a refurbished one. Get the XL probably.
Yeah.
Your hands won't get as cramped playing.
It only comes in XL.
Yeah. No, I mean if she didn't want to spend on a brand new one and was going to get a refurb and say get a refurbed 3DS XL. Otherwise, just wait for the new one. It's coming out, like I said, February 13th.
Ryan will get it for you for Valentine's Day. It's
Maybe.
fine.
Yeah, it's because it's the day before Valentine's Day.
You're welcome, Ryan.
Yeah, just to be like, hey, Ryan, come on, buddy. Come on. You know what I want. You know what I want for Valentine's Day. Suggestions? Games?
Sorry, just quickly, Dan. It's hard to not recommend the newest one because there's going to be games that only work for it.
Yeah, some of the newer games are going to be only 3DS XL compatible.
Plus, the 3D is supposed to be a lot better.
The 3D is supposed to be better. It's got a face tracking thing on it that makes it so, like, when you're moving the device around, like, the 3D will orient itself so that it's, like, it looks right no matter what angle. The other one, if you tilted it, just the older ones, if you just tilted a little bit, it would throw the 3D off and it would look weird and make Corey seasick. Right, Corey?
Yeah, I'm a wuss.
So,
I will say, though, if you want my honest opinion, get a Wii U, not a 3DS.
yeah. Not that much more. If you're going to be looking at a new 3DS XL or Wii U, a Wii U you can get for like $270 with a couple games with it.
Especially because her and Ryan like to play games together.
There's a lot of good
I
games. on
feel
the
like
Wii U.
you're going to get more use out of your Wii U because I'm trying to think of a game I would recommend to her on a 3DS, and I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And that's mostly because I don't know really what kind of games she likes.
Fire Emblem.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Think so?
Fire Emblem's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And if you get a Wii U, like, we all have them, and you can friend us, and we can do Mario Kart or Smash.
We
or
could play
whatever.
Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. That'd be good times.
Yeah.
I
We
don't
just
know.
gotta figure out how to get it all working.
Yeah, we just have to get through the friend process. So
is-
take an afternoon off, and we'll do the same. And
They do need to improve that, don't they?
It is
a
a
bit.
friend process. It's silly.
Yeah. So yeah, those are our thoughts. If you're definitely gonna go 3DS, get the new one. Otherwise, maybe save up just a little bit more and get a Wii U.
Yeah.
Kotaku always has their daily deals, and a lot of times there's a Wii U with like 2 games on it for sale for like $270, which is a steal. So
cool.
that's that. Question of the week, Corey. What do you got for question of the week?
Question of the week for today's episode. If you had to choose one of these 3 classic video games to have never existed, which would it be and why?
Dan, I think another piece of feedback
Was there?
from the website.
Oh,
yes, definitely.
There is.
Dan.
I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Michael in Central Mass. New write-in. Say, hey guys, Michael from Central Massachusetts. Just want to say thank you for what you do. I'm a long-time listener, but I've never written in. I listen to your podcast whenever I have free time, whether it is while I work my retail job or while playing video games. I play most of the games you talk about on the show, and your opinion on this war of mine leads me to purchase a computer. It's a Mac Mini, so I can plug it into my TV. Works really well for my setup. Sorry, it's not a PC. Oh, that's fine. You know what? A lot of games come out for Mac now. Nowadays anyway. Steam is great for that. It also tells you what games are available for Mac.
Yeah,
Linux.
we're not Mac haters by any means.
No. I make fun of Mac a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's only because anytime you walk into Starbucks, there's the Mac logo glowing in your face.
If I had a nickel every time I saw a Mac at college, I'd be rich.
I'm sure. I have nothing against it per se, but anyway, my 4 in February are 1, Dying Light. 2, Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm 50 hours in as of February 1st, but I need to get it done. 3, Far Cry 4. And then 4, explore the whole large map in Terraria.
That's a lot of gaming.
Yeah, that's a lot of gaming.
When you're shortest one, Dying Light is the shortest
The
one.
shortest
probably,
one,
right?
unless
20
you're
hours?
unless you're a completionist like me, then it's closer to 50.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Good
I
luck.
thought
Well,
Dying Light, how long to beat was like 11 hours.
it is, but the completionist like 50 or high 40s. It's long.
It's 11 hours if you play it Eric's way.
Yeah.
Eric's way or Dan's way?
Only during the day.
Dang.
We checked it last week, and I think wasn't it like 50.5 hours or something?
Yeah, something like
Completionist, 48 and a half.
Yeah. It's
Main
almost-
story, 12 and a half.
Yeah.
that. Perfect.
Lastly, while I'm no fanboy, I do have an Xbone for no other reason than half impulse buy and half how fluid the Xbox One works with my setup. I wanted to give the perspective of a happy Xbox One owner. I've experienced zero problems with the system, and while the Kinect has no use to me while gaming besides telling it to record what I'm playing, I think it's well worth the extra $100 just for voice control of my entire room, basically. Smart Glass app is great too. While I bet PS4 is an amazing system, I've really enjoyed my Xbone.
The Smart Glass, I think, works better than the PlayStation app.
I liked
yeah.
the Smart Glass when I had it for 360.
Yeah,
It worked really
I
well.
don't
does
really
work.
care for either of them, but no, I know plenty of people that are happy with their Xbox. I just prefer the PS4.
Same.
If Xbox announces that you can stream games from your PC to your Xbox, I will buy an Xbox
That
One.
would be, and I could never argue that.
That would push me over the edge for one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, now I think we're ready for question of the week. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Corey. And thanks for letting me know. I didn't see
and
that at
hey,
the bottom.
Write us again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
Mike.
writing us in,
Definitely.
writing into
Thanks
us.
for listening.
Yeah, glad you enjoy the show.
Eric, maybe you included it with question of the week, but Tito said he had sent in an email as well.
Is he in the chat?
Yes.
My chat's not updating.
Let me see if I can call it up here. No, I don't have it.
He sent an email?
Oh, I do have it. You want me to read it?
Yep, go
Yeah.
for it.
I just wanted to make a point about MOBAs and them being on one map. Once you start getting accustomed to this new style of game, you realize how similar it is to sports. Think of it like baseball. 2 teams of 5 playing on a basketball court. The court is always the same. You also don't get good unless you practice a lot, years even. The fun isn't in the map, it's purely from outplaying your opponents. It feels really good when you juke another player and are able to kill them in League of Legends. Once you start getting the intricacies and can watch a game of League of Legends and know what to look for and cheer for and what's happening, you'll see where the fun truly lies and thus enjoy MOBAs for what they are. People outplaying each other, especially as a team where everyone has a role, and figure out how to engage against the other team. That's a really good point. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
that is-
I could see that. That makes sense.
While he is completely right with that, I still prefer the different maps in Heroes of the Storm.
Well, I mean, I guess it's like tennis where there's clay courts, grass courts.
Yeah.
Do you think that for tournaments they'll stick to like one map in Hearthstone when they start doing like big money tournaments?
That's a good question.
Good question. I honestly don't know. There's some maps that people don't like because they snowball really easily. So like if one person, because the whole point of the map is not because you can't like carry. Like a guy can't just get more experience and level up faster than everybody else. Everybody
Right.
gets share experience. So like the main thing for the game is doing the map objectives to help out. and fighting over those is like where the game really like works well.
Right. Well, because I think you think of Smash too. Like when they do tournaments, that's one stage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I know there's a couple maps that like Haunted Mines is one map that when I watched a tournament that they were on. Dragon Shrine is another one. And like they all have their own different little like stuff to it. So I mean, it all depends on how the meta is for that.
If I had to guess, I would probably think they would pick, or maybe like for each tournament.
Yeah,
they'll have this is the map that we're using for this tournament rather than having it be random or Although maybe they'll add the random factor into it. Who knows?
I think maybe at least like because I think there's supposed to be like 12 maps at some point, like when the game's closer to coming out. That like maybe just have like a rotation. Like a certain amount. I don't know. It's fun to see people because, like, when you do ranked matches, you know the map going into it, and some heroes excel on different maps.
Right.
So, like, that kind of makes more heroes viable. Like, Gazlowe is really good on Sky Temple, but he's awful on Dragon Shrine.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, there's all of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I understand Tito's point, and he is right with that. Like, when you outplay, even when I played Dota a lot, like, whenever I outplayed somebody, it felt so good.
Yeah.
So
okay,
yeah, that's interesting.
It's right over my head.
It does take away. It does take the focus away from the game itself and more on the competition. You know, just by having the same venue every time. You know, it eliminates that variable.
Yeah,
sure. No, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I never either.
Like a football field.
Yeah.
Here it is. Go play.
Yep.
You know what it is.
100
Same
yards
every time. 100 yards.
If you get down to the one, run it.
Unless it's Newark Valley's football field, then one ends a little bit uphill.
A little bit of a slope.
Then you can complain when you lose. Well, we were out going uphill most of the time.
Tito also sent a Destiny update. You can scratch the Vault of Glass off the Thumbstick Athletes podcast clan raid checklist. I made an old college buddy join the clan, and we took him through his first time in the raid and let him use the Relic Shield so he could get the best experience out of Destiny. We ended up beating Atheon, with full 6 Thumbstick Athlete members. If anyone still playing hasn't gone through the raid, we'll be more than glad to complete it with you. Pictures to follow. Hey, hooray!
Done.
Yeah, perfect.
He sent me a picture of that, but I couldn't get it to load for some reason. I tried to share it on our Twitter.
Weird.
Yeah. Weird DRM
some
thing.
bullshit. Yeah.
That's awesome, though. That's really cool. Thanks for carrying the torch for us a little bit there. What's the Relic Shield?
I don't know. No idea. I have not done any of the raids. I was thinking about Destiny today.
I did too.
Every so often, I get thinking about it. Oh, I'm gonna buy it when they really. If that package they talked about is real, I'm gonna get it.
I told you I would get it if it comes out on PC.
I really enjoyed my time at Destiny. I just don't have the time.
Yeah, Eric, I really wanted to get it today too. I thought about it.
Yeah, it's a fucking good game. It's just something about it.
There really is.
All right, now question of the week.
All right, now let's do it.
Corey, what do you got for question of the week?
QOTW. If you had to choose one of these 3 classic video games to have never existed, which would it be and why? Keeping in mind that the game itself and all of its influences would be erased. And the games are Final Fantasy VII, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and Super Mario 64.
All right. First answer is from Chris in New York. You guys can go straight to hell. Okay, I mean it for 3 of you, but honestly I would say Zelda because there have been other games prior to Zelda that had similar mechanics. I don't think programming-wise the Zelda games did anything earth-shattering. They're fun games, but I never felt immersed playing them. Also, writing the world of Mario in any form is ridding the world of Mario in any form is sacrilegious. Even thinking it should result in a person being drawn and quartered. Final Fantasy VII is the last of the Final Fantasy games I truly enjoyed. I cried for Cripe's sake when Aeris passed on. I mean, I couldn't imagine a world without these games, but Zelda, fuck, now that I think about it again. Damn you, question generator for making me think these bad things. I love you, Zelda. I didn't mean anything I wrote. Couldn't we sacrifice Metroid or Mega Man instead?
That would make the question too easy.
I thought this one was pretty easy, Corey.
Travis. Okay, this question took a lot of thought. Each game has influenced the gaming industry so much. If we get rid of Mario or Zelda, would anyone even have bought a Nintendo 64? If no one buys a Nintendo 64, would Nintendo as we know it even exist today? I mean, a world without Nintendo is not a world I want to live in. I'll admit it, I'm a Nintendo fanboy, so I guess I would have to erase Final Fantasy VII from all of time and space. And also, for the most part, I feel like JRPGs have not aged very well and have grown pretty stagnant. As a plus, if we get rid of Final Fantasy VII, then the god-awful Final Fantasy XIII and both its sequels will also be gone. Unfortunately, it means Final Fantasy XII is gone too, so that makes me a bit sad, because it is as good as Final Fantasy VII was. Final Fantasy XII is my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. And let's be honest, for the most part, JRPGs haven't aged very well anyways. So that's Ryan's answer. Or Travis, I'm sorry. Idaho Jake. As for the question of the week, I think I would go with Super Mario 64 just because Nintendo would have made something else that would have been great. So, all right, let's start with Will. What's your game that you're going to erase, Will?
Dan, before we move on, Tito has an answer too.
Let's hear it.
I love the choices for this question. I would actually choose Ocarina of Time. GameSpot a long time ago had a long-running poll about the most influential games ever, and when I heard this question, that poll from the early 2000s quickly popped up into my head. Number 1 was Mario 64 because it ushered in a true 3D world, and Final Fantasy VII finished number 2 because it was the first game to incorporate CG cutscenes. Both had huge impacts on the games that followed.
Oh. Shit, that threw my answer right off.
Well, I mean, I think CG cutscenes probably would have happened anyway, and so would have 3D worlds.
That's I could liken this to when somebody tells me that the Beatles had such an influence on music. Would have happened anyway.
Yeah.
Somebody else would have done it.
Yeah.
Nirvana, same thing.
The Birds.
Okay. Will, what do you think?
I'm in between Final Fantasy and Ocarina of Time. I don't know.
Let me get mine out of the way because it's easy.
Yeah.
Mine's Final Fantasy VII because
yeah.
the other games I just like better.
Yeah.
With me, I liked Final Fantasy VII. I think is my second favorite Final Fantasy, but the ones after that aren't as good. So removing that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd pick Final Fantasy VII also. As much as I love Final Fantasy VII, I mean, there was how many Final Fantasies? We're coming up on 15. I don't know how much of an effect that Final Fantasy VII had on the Final Fantasy series as a whole. I don't think a lot, because as good as Final Fantasy VII was, they never really recovered after that, at least from my perspective. So I don't know how much influence it had on the rest of the series. But Mario 64, like Corey said, or what Tito said, it kind of influenced the early 3D games, And Ocarina of Time, I mean, that's still such a classic, that's a hard choice, but I would probably pick Final Fantasy VII.
Ocarina of Time is also the only game on that list I hadn't beaten.
Right.
You know what? Travis's feedback sort of made me think I should have added Halo, the original Halo, to this list, because I feel like without it we wouldn't have Xbox at all.
I agree with that.
You're right.
I agree with that.
And that would be interesting.
Halo instead of Final Fantasy,
or just add Halo
and have it be one of the 4. I don't think it would change my answer. You're right. I don't think there would be Xbox without Halo.
Yeah, probably
no,
not.
I would have never picked Halo. Like, that would have not been my choice for
No.
this.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'd keep Halo around. I struggle with this one. I really, really do. Final Fantasy VII is the immediate one to jump out at me because, like Dan said, since Final Fantasy VII, yeah, people have their favorites here and there, but overall, that's considered the pinnacle of the series.
Yeah.
And for me, Final Fantasy VI is my favorite. Final Fantasy VII is my second favorite. So the prior ones are better for me, but Final Fantasy VII for me is such a good game that, on its own, influences aside, that I have a hard time wishing it didn't exist. Because it influenced me as a gamer, not again, games aside. It's sort of. I haven't played Ocarina of Time. I have to play it this month. And at this point, it's one of those things that can't compete anyway. Because I played Final Fantasy VII when I was in my formative years, and it influenced maybe this is hyperbole, but my life from the point I played it on. And Ocarina of Time will never have that privilege. So for me, I'm probably going to go Ocarina of Time. And the argument is kind of the same as Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, there came games after it, but Ocarina of Time is still considered the pinnacle of that series.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I have played it a couple hours here and there, and again, I have to play it this month, so maybe it'll change. But I didn't like what I had played of that as much as I enjoyed Final Fantasy VII, obviously. And for me, in the Zelda series, my favorite games are still Link to the Past, and Twilight Princess is my favorite of the newer 3D ones, but Link Between Worlds, I think, is a fantastic Zelda game. And Mario 64, like, I don't know.
Nope.
It's untouchable to me.
Yeah, no one picked Mario 64. That's interesting. Right?
Yeah,
I don't think anyone even considered Mario 64.
I didn't.
I didn't.
This is a stupid one for me because everybody knew what I was going to pick.
Yeah. We know Eric's answer last week. Okay, that's a good thought-provoking one. We got some good answers.
If you had put Halo in instead of Final Fantasy, taking some thought for me.
What would you go with?
Probably Zelda.
Yeah, I probably would too.
That's so weird though, because so many people consider that like the greatest game of all time.
It's a great game, but that could never compete with my memories with Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario's not up for debate.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Okay. What do you got for next week's question of the week, Corey?
This one's a little bit lighter and a little bit easier, and a little bit more open. Your answer does not have to be video game related. If you've been waiting to get in on question of the week and without a deep knowledge of video gaming, not that matters anyway. The question is, you have to finish the paragraph. Kids these days, they have no idea. Finish the paragraph.
Okay.
oh my god, that could go so many ways.
Yeah, that really can.
Well, which way does it need to go, Eric? If you have one opportunity
I'm gonna mull it over.
to address
I like that.
kids these days, they don't even know.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you next week.
That everything?
Yeah.
Sounds
Sure.
good. I don't think we've decided what our
Think
episode
so.
next week is going to be about, but possibly Battlefield Hardline Beta.
Tentatively.
Tentatively. If we can all get enough time in.
I think
with
there's
it.
only 2 maps in it though.
That's
That's
okay.
the only thing. But
That's
whatever.
all right. Then I won't get too confused by having to go on so many different maps.
I'm willing to bet they're both cities.
I don't know.
2 cents. Okay.
I mean, it's a different kind of city than what you're thinking though.
Okay.
Dust Bowl. It's out in like a desert.
Oh, I think I saw someone playing
Perfect.
that.
Yeah.
I watched a little on Twitch the other day.
It doesn't feel city-like.
Okay. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/thumbstickathletes. Our Twitter feed is twitter.com/TSathletes or at capital T, capital S athletes. Website is www.thumbstickathletes.com. You can leave us a voicemail at 607-527-0547 or email us directly at thumbstickathletes@gmail.com. Did I forget anything else?
If you're looking to answer the question of the week in an easy manner, thumbstickathletes.com/QOTW.
Yep. There's also a banner link on the right hand side, sandwiched in between a few things. But if you click on that, it'll remind you what the question of the week is. Right? That says up at the top of that, and then you can submit your answer that way too.
Yep. I changed it into a button. I realized it wasn't very easy to find on the webpage, so now it's a button that you click in the sidebar.
Okay. Excellent. And as for when we're recording next week, we haven't figured that out. Probably it's usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so probably be one of those days. But we'll let you know for sure when we find out. And that'll do it for episode 185 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement. Dunsky.
What was the runtime?
2 hours and 47 minutes.
Good. We've been having some long ones, eh?
Yes, we have.
That was a good. I felt good about that episode.
Almonds.
I had already made the graphic, the 4 in February graphic, so I hoped nothing had changed since I did it.
I thought yours might change, but that was the only one.
Yeah, that one was close.
Pretty happy Mario won mine.
Yeah, that's a
Real-
good one.
Hope you love it.
I'm sure I will.
Fun game.
Might be the only game that I actually like out of my 4.
I hope not. I hope you like the other stuff.
I tried Brothers before, if you remember.
Yeah.
And quit.
Oh yeah,
Did
that's
you?
right.
Yeah.
You rage
What-
quit?
What didn't you like?
I didn't
about it?
rage quit. I just didn't feel it.
Okay.
Well, at least
I
it's only
thought-
4 hours.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly.
3
I
hours.
didn't how they don't talk.
Oh,
How it's like the
that's
mumbly
right.
jumbly. I hated that.
Yeah.
Bayonetta, I might like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'll be actiony at least.
And I thought to myself, well, at least I'll be able to trade it in
Yeah. When you're done.
because it's just been sitting there.
Yep.
I was actually surprised Dan didn't pick Bayonetta for me.
Yeah,
I'm really
me
surprised.
too.
Banner Saga.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you should play better stuff. It's good.
I thought you'd pick Sunset. I figured you'd pick Bayonetta. Wasn't sure on Corey.
I'm glad you're gonna play Sunset Overdrive.
That might be the first one that I play.
Great fucking game.
I saw it's only like 9.5 hours. I saw.
Short.
I can do that in a day.
Was it 9.5? I felt like I played a little longer than that.
That's what the How Long to Beat said.
I think it was 11 or 12. I thought.
I don't know. I'm kind of bad at the game, so it might take me a little
Well,
longer.
I think did I take a break? I did.
FIFA.
Yeah.
And then you ate a couple times.
Yeah.
So
Pizza and wings.
I missed
The
pizza.
old lady
wings.
brought home Nurkies for me.
It's so good.
She's very supportive of my 4 in February contest, and she was supportive of that. Rest of the year, no.
That's all you can ask for.
Is it? I guess maybe.
We
Maybe
should-
a little bit more.
We should come up with
Something each month?
Yeah.
It's for charity.
I tried to do that with the puns. You guys didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm just not clever.
I'm
I
not.
thought it was great.
I
I
mean,
wanted to do like puns one month, heavy sarcasm another month, just for the tweets, the nibble bits.
I could do sarcasm. Puns, I have a little more trouble.
I see. I can't. If I have to force something out of myself, I can't.
With. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you force yourself to do it, and then you get better at it.
No, it just doesn't work for me.
I didn't even want to try.
I can't be clever like that thinking about it.
You think you can, Eric. You can do it.
Sorry,
I know
I've
you can do it.
tried for 31 years now.
You can do it. You got to be bad at it at first, and then you just keep forcing yourself.
Willing to do that.
You're terrible, 80% of the time, but 20% of the time you strike gold.
A tweet goes big.
Something goes viral.
Retweet from an Autobot.
Twitter.
Fuck Twitter.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah.
It's the after hours. It's Adult Swim.
Eric barely awake.
Yeah, I'm pretty whipped myself.
I want to play something, but I don't know what to play.
You know what, guys? I'm going to Broadway soon.
Oh man.
I didn't
That
go
sounds-
when I was home. I fucked up.
You were supposed to go
Snap.
Sunday, but you were incapable.
Oh
You
my
know what
god.
It's coffee. They have the best goddamn
They
coffee ever.
really do. What are they doing to their coffee?
I don't know.
Cocaine.
Coke.
I could find out it's made from ground up puppies, and I'd still love it.
I'd still drink it.
You're not
So
seeing
good.
the puppies, so.
guys, I'll be there the weekend of the 20th.
Oh, coming home?
Yep, we're brewing on the 22nd. The 21st is the Binghamton Beer Fest, or beer tasting.
Hey, we had something like that.
But we should try and play Risk.
Yes. We should.
I think Graham's off that Friday,
I quit. Risk.
the 20th.
If Graham rolls sixes again, I'm not playing with him.
1-6, and you're out.
I will. Don't think I won't.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Corey, are we really
See ya,
playing
Brad.
Diablo at 8 tomorrow, or?
I got to start 4 in February.
Okay, fair enough.
I waited a few days to start too.
88 hours worth of games, and we're already 5 days in.
I got into Fandango the second day.
My goal is to have a game beat next week. On my fourth.
I do that too.
All right.
Now our Dying Light episode is over. I can
Play whatever.
Yeah.
See you, Corey.
Laters.
see ya.